A recent study in Connecticut found that nearly 70% of those convicted of a crime will be rearrested, 43% will be reconvicted, and 20% will be reincarcerated. By age 18, 30% of black males, 26% of Hispanic males, and 22% of white males have been arrested.
High school seems fun, like you want to skip, you want to do all the drugs, and you want to just be bad because you're going to get noticed probably a little more, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's not going to get you anywhere.
You have to choose your friends wisely, because if they're into certain things, it might rub off on you, even though at first you might say like, nah, I don't want to do that, but you're exposed to it every day.
My friends, they're good people, but again, they're like me. They don't really think about anything, they just do.
When I was young, I thought I knew it all. And I made some choices in my life. I made good choices, and then I made the bad choices. And for some reason, the bad choices for me kind of took over the good ones. I started at a young age, you know, self-destructing. When I mean self-destructing is I started experimenting with drugs, and I started hanging out with people, and I thought that I was cool. I thought that it was okay. And for a time it worked, you know, it worked for me. But it got a little heavy.
Like right now, there's something that could really change my future, because I committed a robbery, so that could kind of like mess up my future if I don't fix it. It was supposed to be a trade, and I kind of like the kid, he tried to rob me, so I robbed him, and I ended up getting in trouble because he called the cops. So I should have like made the move first of calling the cops, but I wasn't thinking, because I just let my anger take control of me, so that I ended up getting in trouble because of that. So now I'm in court going through trial, trying to see if I could like bring it down so I won't do no jail time, so I could continue on with my life and try to do better, like show the judge that I'm a good person, not a menace to society.
I mean, some people get in trouble when they're young and it affects their life forever, like, you know. It might stay on their record, and, you know, you never know.
Whatever went in his head, I did it. I could say probably since I was 13, was using alcohol in many forms. But certainly marijuana came into my high school years, and cocaine eventually, before I turned 18. I had no conscience, believe me. I acted on impulse, but by the time I was 34 in 1989, you know, I had been in a deep addiction of a lot of, you know, substance use, prison, 14 arrests, you know, 9 convictions, 7 prison bids. My motto was, catch me if you can, and they did.
I grew up in the projects here in PT. I'm not saying that I'm blaming them, but that was the environment that I was in, and everything was introduced to me. Whatever my friends were doing, I was a follower, I did it. How did I know that it was going to affect my future? I had no idea.
I was addicted to heroin and cocaine, and I'm also an alcoholic. Through high school, I was a great student. I was like a straight A student. I did really well, played sports, I had good friends, stuff like that. But it was mostly after I got out of high school that when I went to college, I started drinking a lot, partying a lot, and that's where the problem started. But yeah, I don't know, I really wasn't that concerned when I was younger about my mistakes. It was only when I got older and started not being able to get jobs and failed out of college, and you know, those mistakes started to add up.
I got arguments with my mom over stupid stuff. She knew I was doing wrong. I knew I was doing wrong. But I felt like it was cool. There's kids back in my neighborhood that influenced me to do a lot of bad things. That's why I ended up where I'm at. You know, getting in trouble with the law because I picked the wrong group to hang out with. Not even freshman year, it started middle school, you know. I wanted to smoke, just following, not being a leader, but now I could be a leader, like show kids like, oh, you don't want to go through this because look where I'm at now. I'm 20, still in high school, trying to graduate. It's hard for me.
There was a lot of scenarios of how I could get support, but I wasn't willing, I just wasn't ready. I didn't think it would work for me. I damaged all supports that I possibly was being offered. I even was in jail many times being offered opportunities that I wouldn't take advantage of, even before I got to jail. You know, here's a scenario where sitting before the judge, I'll never forget, it was, they offered me 3 months of jail time or 18 months to go in a drug program. So you know what I took, right? I took the jail. So the funny, ironic part of that is I could have got help and did less time getting help than staying in jail. Isn't that crazy?
I was dead inside. My soul, if I can describe it, it was not alive. There was nothing there. I was living like in a dark path of destruction, and it kept getting worse. It didn't get any better. That's where, not individuals, but my own family, you know, never thought that I would be, I never thought that I was hurting anyone when I was doing the things that I was doing. You know, I always thought that I would say to myself, I'm not hurting anybody. You know, I'm not hurting anyone. When I actually was hurting people that love me, my life, my sister, my children. So, I'm sorry. I hurt a lot of people, and to be able to, many times I used to say, I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna do it, I'm good, you know, and I used to go back to the same thing. Today I believe that action speaks louder than words. My sister is a power of example to me. She's in my life full-time now, not just, you know, part-time. My sister stood away for some years because of my behaviors, and I can honestly say that she's overcome, and we're both healing from all this. It's a healing process, and I'm very proud. I am very proud to say, you know, that she always stood there by me, and she's there for me now.
I lost my brother. It's been a year and a half now. He was the last one that I tried to help. But the disease, the addiction had him so tight that he gave up on life and he died. So I can't save nobody. We addicts, we can't save nobody, but we could be available to a certain extent. They have to want the help.
There is hope out there, and that's what I want to do. I want to be able to be empowering to people. I want to be able to tell them my story and to be able to touch someone from within. Maybe you can identify with me. Maybe you're going through that situation, and I just want to let you know that just hang on and ask for help. Always ask for help, because there is help out there.
At 56 years old, all I want is just to live, be happy, because mostly all my years were in juvenile detentions or in jail, and I just want to live. Be able to graduate from Housatonic Community College, feel that I accomplished something on my own, you know, and when I graduate to become an effective drug and alcohol counselor. That's my desire.
I'm a manager for the Bridgeport Recovery Community Center. I actually oversee the operation of the center. Grateful that I was able to join you know, different organizations as I started my recovery, and in 1994 I was able to support a local organization called Friends of Recovery, and then CCAR started in '98, and I became a volunteer for 2 years before I was hired.
I think as far as our teens, I think our teens got it very hard. Just like when I was young, I look at myself, a lot of peer pressure. A lot of them don't have the courage to stand up even though they know it's wrong.
Choices that you make will live with you the rest of your life. And some of them people can't really cope with.
I believe that even if you fall as many times as you do or make bad mistakes in life, the best thing is to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. You keep it moving. You don't give up.
Again, it goes back to the support I had and my family and my peers really telling me that I could do it and reinforcing the fact that I was capable. And also just looking back on the past and where I was and knowing that I was intelligent, that I had things to offer other people. I just had to kind of find how to get there.